And welcome back around, everyone, to the Sports Report. As always, I'm Jake Griffith. We've got a lot of Lynx sports news to talk about this week, so let's go ahead and get right to it. We'll start off with Lindenwood Belleville Lynx basketball. Lynx took on the Williams Baptist Eagles in their last matchup. They traveled down to Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. And unfortunately, your Lynx men's basketball team dropped their 11th game of the season. They fall 84-72 to the Eagles of Williams Baptist on senior night for Williams Baptist. The leading scorers for the Lynx were Craig Anderson with 14 points. He did have 3 turnovers, though. Chris Deans also had 14 and 2 assists, and Noel Allen 3 rebounds shy of another double-double. 10 points and 7 rebounds. Lynx shoot 34% from the field and 28% from downtown. Now, for Williams Baptist, though, they had an amazing start. 45% from the field, 28% from downtown, as Abel Yeka leads the way with 19 points and 5 rebounds. Lynx only had 4 total assists the entire game. And now, I'd like to welcome back around to the desk Lynx basketball analyst Justin Tourneau. Justin, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. So you didn't come to the game on Saturday with the Lynx basketball team, but what can you tell me? What's going on with this Lynx basketball team? They cannot consistently string together wins. You're
exactly right. And from what I heard from my teammates is that they really just couldn't get it going, like you said, with the offense. 34% from the field and 28% from downtown is just not going to get it done against a very talented, especially on the offensive side in Williams Baptist. And also what I heard was a lot of guys kind of lost their cool. Javon had a technical, Lawson Warren had a double technical, and even Coach Spinner, who, I mean, he never gets technicals, even got a technical in that game. So I'm sure that the refs weren't very kind to us in this game, and no one was really satisfied with that.
Now, you talked about the officiating. You obviously can't blame a loss on the officiating. It did play a factor in that game, I can tell you, being on the broadcast, sitting courtside. There were a lot of questionable calls made in that game, but the Lynx have dealt with that a lot this season. Why can they not tune out the officials in some aspects? Because they really let, I think, some of the bad calls get under their skin.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, we are very far along in the season. We're almost done, and you shouldn't let those type of things get to you as a team, and I don't know if that's stemming down from the coaches and the discipline there, but when the goings got tough on the road and we may not have the best officiating calls for us, some of our players have lost their heads. But I think it's good that happened now, and it's not the postseason, and hopefully we can clear that up before the conference tournament.
Now, we'll get to the postseason here in a minute, but Lynx have 2 games remaining at home. They play Lyon on Thursday, and they play Freed Hardeman, the number 2 team in the nation, on Saturday. What do the Lynx need to fix before, especially that Freed Hardeman game, but the Lyon game coming up? Lynx already beat Lyon once this season, and they're trying to defend home court again this Thursday.
Well, against Lyon, they're very they run a very good offense. They're not going to take any bad shots. They're very disciplined. So really what we need to do going into that game is focus on our defense, our help side defense, and our communication on the defensive end, because against a team like that, they're going to keep running their sets and try and break you down and score. So we're going to have to be disciplined throughout all the possessions. And as far as offense, I'm not really worried about it at home with all the offensive weapons that we have. I'm sure we'll get it going.
The Lynx, they've lost a lot of guys this season so far from the team. It's a completely different team than what we started out with. Do you think that's had a psychological impact on some of the players, and that might be why they cannot, perform in certain areas of the game?
I think it definitely does. I mean, when we started out, we had all these guys, they're your teammates, and they're the guys that you're going to practice with every day and working hard with. And, for whatever reasons, everyone got let go for the coaches' reasons. And that's tough to see your guys get let go like that, but you got to move on. And I think the team now has come together, but it's still, even though it's late, it's still a work in progress. And it's just something we got to go at every day in practice to try and fix.
Now, we talked about the Freed Hardeman game this Saturday. We don't want to overlook a team in Lyon College, very good team. Lynx looking for their 1,000th win in program history in that game. But obviously the Freed game is circled on everybody's calendar here on campus. And I'm sure at Freed Hardeman, last year Lynx beat Freed both times. They've already lost to Freed once this season. What do you give the Lynx a legit shot to win this game against Freed Hardeman?
I really do. Honestly, home court is always awesome. We always play better at home. But, I mean, last year going into those games, Freed, we were pretty much in the same type of situation. No one gave us any shot in those games, and we beat them both times. So I'm excited for that game. It's our last regular season game, but I feel like everyone's going to be very excited. It's senior night for Lawson and for a few other players, so they're going to want to give a good last shot to these guys.
And we'll take a look at the conference standings in a second. But first, Justin, Lynx, like we talked about, they did lose to Williams Baptist. Are there any things that they can take from that Williams Baptist game and apply it to the game against Lyon College? Maybe some learning aspects. Are there any similarities between Lyon and Williams Baptist?
Well, they're pretty different as teams. Williams Baptist is definitely more athletic, likes to get up and down the floor, and Lyon is more disciplined with their offense. But really, kind of what we talked about earlier, what the Lynx need to take away is they need to, when things aren't going your way, if the refs' calls aren't going your way, or if there's just bad things happening, you need to stay cool and keep your cool and play with some composure and play the way you can, because I have no doubt that we can easily handle these guys at home.
Well, thank you for your time, Justin. It should be a pretty interesting last couple of games. We'll quickly run through the conference standings here in the American Midwest Conference. Freed-Hardeman sits up top with a 20-1 record. Columbia College at 16-4 record in conference. Williams Baptist just took over the sole possession of third after the win against Lindenwood Belleville. 14-6 on the season in conference. Lynx sit at number 4, all alone, 14-6, and then Park 12-8 in conference. Scenarios for the postseason. One thing Justin talked about was the postseason. If the Lynx win out these final 2 games, they will play Lyon College on Thursday here at Lindenwood. That'll be a home game on Thursday. If the Lynx split their last 2 games, they will play Park here at the Lynx Den right across the street here in Belleville. They will play Park University on Thursday, and if the Lynx lose out both games, they will play St. Louis College of Pharmacy on Tuesday here in Belleville, and then we'll head on and advance to play the winner of the other preliminary round on Thursday. The site of that will be yet to be determined. Obviously, in the AMC, there is no neutral site, conference site to play the postseason tournament. It is the highest seed hosts, and then after each round, they reseed. So Lynx, if they do lose out, won't know where they will go until after Tuesday. So hopefully the Lynx can win out here and pull off the major upset this Saturday against number 2 Freed-Hardeman. Should be a pretty tough task. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we will have the Lynx Spirit Squad on set to talk about their recent competition in Michigan, where they took second. Stay tuned, everyone. This is the Sports Report on LBTV.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to welcome in members of the Lynx cheer and dance team to the set now. And guys, how you doing today?
Good.
So, you guys have like the cheer and the dance team, and then you also have a spirit squad, which you were talking about before. It just kind of encompasses everybody. Just kind of talk about that for a minute. What's the difference, really?
Okay, so like you said, there's dance and cheer. And the spirit squad also includes like game day. We have like a game day squad who does football and basketball. And then like there's competition cheer and competition dance, who are 2 sort of separate teams, but there's members of each team that's on Spirit Squad. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So you guys are members of the cheer team, and the cheer team the competition team had a competition up in Michigan, I believe, this past weekend. How'd you guys do?
We placed second. We definitely thought that we did enough to place first. We've placed first in our other competitions prior to that competition, but the judges didn't see it the same way. We wait a couple weeks. I think this weekend we find out if we make nationals. We still had a pretty decent score, so I'm pretty confident that we'll end up in nationals.
What all goes on at a cheer competition, honestly?
Well, we have competition cheer goes and competition dance goes too. It's all like at the same place, but we just like warm up our skills, and then each team takes the mat and does a routine for about 3 minutes, and then that's about it.
Is it sort of like the routine that some of the cheerleaders do on game day? Is that a similar routine, or is it completely different?
I would say it's completely different. I would, without disrespect to the Spirit Squad, because they in their own right, they're a lot more energetic than us, I would say. But we have probably a higher skill set in terms of stunting and tumbling. So there's a lot harder difficulty with the tumbling. We do like falls and back handsprings to flips and all kinds of different things, and we spin people in the air. Which the game day is kind of more trying to get the crowd involved and trying to pump up the team. So it's very different in that aspect.
Now, it's really just like really any other team sport. Obviously, there's nerves. How nervous were you guys? I mean, you guys want to make nationals. How nervous were you guys to find out your guys placing?
That's really crazy. Like, I get cut in mouth myself. I can barely talk or breathe. So I'm sure they feel the same way.
Yeah, just anxious to see how we did.
Yeah, because you know how you feel that you did, but it's always different what the judges say.
It's very subjective, the scores.
Now, you are on the dance team here. For competition dance, is there any difference there than the cheer competitions?
Yeah, it's in the same place, obviously, like Becca said. But we have, like, they use mats. We don't use mats. And their routines they have a ton of variety. Like, they do a lot of different stuff, but obviously we just dance. Like, they have, like, you guys have, like, a dance portion, but they also have stunting and tumbling. Like, all that dance is dancing. But with that, like, at NAIA, you have to do, like, it's, like, 3 separate types of dance. So it's, like, jazz, pom, and hip-hop all in one routine. So that's what the judges look for, like, as our categories, I guess.
Do you guys have similar categories to that for the cheer competitions, or is it?
Well, we have, there's different categories that we're scored on for the judges to score us on. There's dance, which we're not the greatest dancers. The good dancers are on the dance team, so that's a bit more of like an energetic performance more than technically skill-based. We have tumbling. They're all on a scale of, I think, 6 to 10, and the harder the tumbling is, and the stunts and the dances and all that kind of thing, the higher you can score. And it's based off cleanliness and all that kind of thing. So there's tumbling, there's stunting, there's baskets, which is when like there's a group of people and they throw the one girl into the air and they go really high. It's probably the best way to describe it. And they do all kinds of flips in the air. And then there's pyramids where like there's a bunch of people that all come on, and then people go on top of other people. Not like the traditional pyramid where you're on your hands and knees and people sit on their back, but it's very challenging, and like there's different kinds of like ways that you can get into it. You can like throw them up and they can flip and then stand on someone else. I think we perform this Saturday at the men's basketball game, so if you want to know more about it, definitely come check that out.
Now, this is kind of just a general question for all of you guys. What goes into preparing for one of these competitions, like the training and the practice and things such as that?
We start early on in the season, like working on a routine, and then this year we had a choreographer come and help us put the routine together, and so we just have a lot of practices, and it just takes a lot of hard work to make it all come together.
It's kind of the same for us. We had a choreographer this year. We actually do 2 separate dances because we have NAIA Nationals and we have NDA and NCA for them Nationals, which is in Daytona. So we have, for dance, we have a separate dance for NAIA Nationals and we have a separate dance for NDA. And we got a choreographer for an NDA routine. And yeah, it's just a lot of practices and a lot of changes. Like after a competition, when the judges like give you your scores and like their comments, we go back to practice and just change a lot of stuff.
Sounds like honestly pretty interesting stuff right there. So hey, we'd like to thank you guys for your time joining us here at down here at LBTV for the sports report. Like Christian said, you can catch the team in action this Saturday at the men's game against Freed Hardeman at halftime. That's all we have today, everyone. Signing off for everyone here at the Sports Report, I'm Jake Griffith. We'll be back here same time, same place next week. Until next time, everyone.